finished walking through, and now we're ready to lift weights after watching film. We're practicing tonight. We practiced last night. And right back at it. And this game tomorrow with Morehead State is going to be important for a lot of reasons. Number one, they're playing extremely well right now. After going to St. Louis and beating them on Wednesday night, 60-46. They bring relentless pressure defensively. They can switch all 5 positions. They're shooting the ball well. They run the dribble drive offense, and they run it really, really well. And to me, it's like the dribble drive offense on steroids, because they run so many different things that really get you into a lot of rub cuts. And everybody's out on the perimeter cutting. They've got guys that get to the block. They space well. And Sean's done an excellent job building his team. And they're an older team. When you look at the makeup of their roster, there's a lot of transfers and junior college transfers, and some people that he's had a chance to develop. So they're the real deal. They lost to Illinois State by 1, and winning at St. Louis is a big thing. And it's gonna be a big test for us, because we've got to keep the dribble in front of us. We've got to rebound. We're averaging 16 offensive rebounds a game, and they all go to the glass. And they're getting a lot of balance in their scoring. So it's gonna be a challenge. And this is the kind of team that at the end of the year they end up winning their league, and nobody's surprised once they see them play. So we need great support tomorrow night. We're excited to be home. I know these guys are ready to play again, and they were ready to play last night. And everything we do right now is just to make sure that we're getting better. We're focused on getting better defensively, offensively, protecting each other in defense. With personal awareness and better connectivity, and talking to one another. Taking away confusion, and those are the type of things we have to get better at. There's no question about that. So that's what we're focused on.
First question, Mike.
Tom, there seemed to be a lot of confusion the other night at Duke. I mean, have you thought about maybe simplifying some of the defensive packages, and maybe instead of switching, some of the man-zone concepts?
Well, I don't know if it was that. We haven't done that much this year, but I think you have to look back at the strengths of the team. And one of the strengths of Duke's team is getting to the foul line. They were shooting 30 free throws a game. And the one thing that we didn't want them to do was be at that foul line. And we didn't. So I think some of the confusion was on out-of-bounds plays, and a couple other times where we just weren't as connected communication-wise. And then we didn't, that affected our bumps. That affected getting out to people. And sometimes we just didn't play the ball hard enough. I mean, it didn't matter if we were man or zone, we just went on the ball tough enough. But it's easy to look at it that way, but you have to look at the game and say, okay, what are their strengths? Grayson Allen was averaging 8 fouls drawn a game. And analytics are a big part of the game, and everybody studies them. Well, those are the things that you want to prepare for when you're looking at what are their strengths. And so some of it's that, but more of it is just that absolutely being locked into each possession, finishing the possession, and protecting your teammate. And a lot of times it's the person behind them, it's the person next to them, in the sense of one time in particular, there's nobody in the corner, okay? And we end up bumping to nobody. That's an awareness issue, and it's also a communication issue. Those things can't happen whether you're man or zone. So I don't know if it's a matter of simplifying, it's a matter of being better at what we're doing.
Yeah, Tom, in this era with the rules changes and as good as people are at handling the ball, driving the ball, how hard is it to stop dribble penetration?
Well, their game is to get fouled. Okay, they drive to get fouled. They're very adept at it. They're very good at it. They've got all the actions. They've got the head bobs and the shoulder pulls, and they've got all that. And so you have to prepare for that. And so we probably were a little too worried about the dribble rather than just getting in and attacking it. And some of our mistakes were footwork. We had a couple bad closeouts, but we were conscious of the drive. And I think because we were sometimes tentative on the ball and forced overhelp situations, which let them get kick-out threes, which is what we didn't want. But there's no question that that's a part of it right now, because you're not quite sure how the game is going to be called. In fact, in my estimation, looking at the film, the game was called a couple different ways in that game. And that's part of it as well. I mean, you just have to look at it and deal with it. And sometimes I think maybe we've got to really do a better job of understanding. We've got to be a little more aggressive at the beginning and see how it goes.
Mike, is there an extra challenge with this team if you have your best scorers or your weaker defenders? And is that a challenge to this particular team more than other teams you've had?
I think we just have to work to get better and work to improve every area of what we're doing. And it starts in practice and carry our practice over and help guys get better individually and as a team collectively. I think it's the most important thing.
So you talked about this a little bit on Wednesday night, but just forgive a blunt question. Is there any concern that there are certain things within that defense that you're just not going to be able to fix within, I guess, the framework of having to move from game to game, not having a long period of time to work?
It's going to take a little bit for us to get better at protecting the rim, shot blocking wise. As Thomas grows and gets better. I mean, obviously we're not as experienced there yet, but other than that, we just got to improve everything, and we're focused on that. And every practice is focused on that. But we can do a much better job on the ball. We can do a much better job of early help, all those types of things. And at the same time, get better at both sides. You know, one of the worst things the other day about giving up baskets is we never got to expose their transition defense because we felt like we could really score. And I think when you shoot 50% in a game on the road in an environment like that, yes, you can. We could score. And we never got to the point where we were attacking it consistently because we didn't get enough runouts. And that was disappointing. That's one of the, so we have to defend better so we can get our running game going.
It seemed going into the year, even maybe back in the spring and summer, that you tried to be pretty clear about, I guess, getting the message across that, you know, defensive play, defensive awareness, defensive attitude is going to, I guess, play a lot in who plays, who starts, that kind of thing. Is that message not resonating?
I'm not sure. I think we're just trying to get better every day. I mean, that's where we're at right now. Every practice, we're focused on improving, and that's where we're going to continue to be.
Do you expect the lineup shakeup?
I expect to put 5 guys out there tomorrow night that are excited to play and go to the bench. I'm not sure it's a lineup shakeup is what it is. I think it's just continuing to improve. I think that's the most important thing. You know, 1 through 12, you know, or the 9, 10 guys that are playing right now, that everybody improves at a high level daily.
Tom, the one improvement that you have had is the reduction in turnovers from, what was it, like 21 to 12 to 9. What's been the key to that?
I think just better awareness with the ball, not trying to make plays that aren't there. And but again, we didn't push the envelope offensively the way we needed to the other day with our running game because we didn't get as many runouts, and we didn't attack the rim like we needed to. And so with that, there's going to be some turnovers, but you've got to play cautious, but you don't want to play timid with the ball. You know, we've got to be on the attack, and it's just stuff we have to improve.
You've played Sean's teams, I think, a couple times when he was at Mississippi Valley. You talked about it being almost a dribble drive on steroids. I imagine the talent level might be a little bit better, but do you see similarities in what you prepared for when you faced his teams at Mississippi Valley to what you're
They're much better, much better. And I think he's been a good coach for a long time, but they're much better. You see his pressure that he played in college and that he played as a head coach, but I think what they're doing with the offense is really good, and it really fits his personnel, and we're going to have to really be on guard. I mean, it's they attack, and they have guys that can shoot, so we're going to have to do a great job of keeping the dribble in front of us and having great communication. And you know, when teams are trying to attack, it's very easy to say, well, just keep them in front of them. But that's a little bit easier said than done. Sometimes you have to do some different things to try to negate that, so you're not putting a team on the foul line. And that's what we have to continue to balance, you know, how we're guarding as well. So, but this team will challenge us in every area.
Okay, last question.
How nice is it to play a team tomorrow night that's able to dribble drive like that and rebound the ball offensively after kind of you struggle in those areas Wednesday?
I don't understand.
How nice is it to play a team like Morehead State?
How nice is it? Oh, I don't know. After watching on film, I wouldn't call it nice. But I mean, it's here. It's a challenge. So no, there's no question. They're going to the boards. We're going to have to be. The emphasis will be carried out. I mean, with what we have to do. There's no doubt. And we've got to be very aggressive. You know, we've got to have an aggressive mindset. You know, without being reckless and without being careless. But we've got to have an aggressive mindset.
Okay, thank you,
All right,
Coach.
thank you.